It's been a while since we've caught up with the terrific trio at Pulse, Safia, Kingsley, Romae. I don't know about you, but I'm eager to hear about the developments with Pulse Business, their real estate, media, and fashion empire. Let's go join them in the virtual studio. Last year, we got an exclusive look behind the curtain at Pulse's diverse portfolio. We caught up with the chairman and managing directors recently to get an update on the company's overall performance. Welcome back to the crew, Kingsley, Safia, Romae. It's so good to see you all again. It's been a few months, hasn't it?
Nice little reunion, I think.
Nice little reunion virtually this time. I am very eager to hear all about the updates on the various projects that you guys are working on. I got a chance to visit the properties and learn a lot more about the business of Pulse. Start, Kingsley, for me with Pulse Homes. Where are we on? Where are you?
Like remakers here, Kalila.
Pulse Homes is we're about to start construction. We got all the building approvals, and I can tell you that's a pretty Herculean task in today's Jamaica. And we got all our funding approvals and everything, so we're just waiting to get the final green light. And I would imagine in another 2-3 weeks we'll start construction.
Have you started pre-sales?
We actually sold out the first phase because there was a set that we had a commitment to sell based on the agreement with our funders, and those have now been sold.
And that's how many?
Well, we're selling a total of 15 units and keeping a total of 15 units. But we're not selling all 15 now because, with what is happening between the supply chain issues and the Ukraine war and general inflationary trends, we don't know what's going to happen, in 2 years when we're at the stage of completion. So what we're doing, we sold just a limited amount, and then we'll sell most of it close to the end of the construction.
Right. So what are your plans for the 15 that you're going to keep?
We spoke last time about the whole idea of the whole Pulse experience and the leisure lifestyle living, it being an international center, people coming from all over the world, not just for accommodations or for vacation, but also to experience some of what we do. The homes that we keep will be part of that process. So, part of that experience. So essentially rentals, but with so much more.
So how does it meld into the overall vision of Villa Romae? I know you guys have that nice aesthetic up there. It's so peaceful. It's so serene. How will it go with that strategy?
Pulse Homes completes Villa Romae. We started out with this idea of a Villa Romae lifestyle village, with the restaurants and the lounges and the wedding center and the spa and the yoga studio and the guest suites for overnight stays and residential apartments of persons who would have longer stays, like maybe a year. Pulse Homes is the last bit that comes in and fits in and completes that whole puzzle of the offerings that we have there. Because that's more family oriented, and it comes, of course, with its own setup in terms of the clubhouse and infinity pool and the gym and what have you. So that is where the homes fit in. It completes Villa Romae, and also, as I said earlier, provides an opportunity to add that dimension to persons who come to.
Romae, how are you incorporating the whole Villa Romae property with what you do there on the television and media side and the fashion side?
Well, obviously, Villa Romae is a great location for television programming. We've had films shot there as well. So it gives us a range of options. And because the place has such diversity in terms of the gardens, the beauty, the art, not only us as TV producers and makers of content for television, but also external people come in to shoot at Villaronai as well. So from that perspective, I think it really fits into that whole leisure lifestyle mantra of incorporating the full spectrum of what Villaronai has to offer. You can make great content there, you can live there, and you can film it and put it on the internet for your personal content or for even commercial film purposes.
Are there any plans to expand Villaronai, not just Pulse Homes, because Pulse Homes is already an expansion of Villaronai, but I heard that you've also acquired the property next door, Kingsley.
Yes, interestingly, I had a conversation with a gentleman who is selling additional acreage in the area, and so it's certainly something we're looking at because it's such a beautiful place and a beautiful concept that additional areas immediately adjacent to Villaronai can assume the same sort of specialness and fabulousness associated with Villaronai. So we certainly want to look to see how we can do that. So that is definitely part of the plan.
So the acquisition is a plan or it's already been done?
Well, there's some acquisition has already been done, but the additional acquisition I'm talking about is a plan under serious consideration.
And of course, it will require some serious money. Talk to me about
Well, that is why it is under serious consideration.
Last year, when we spoke to the Pulse team, the company was enjoying a lot of financial success even in the pandemic. Profits were up 44% for the March 2021 quarter. And according to their financial statements, they ended the year 74% higher than the 2020 performance. And the chairman says they're on their way to doing even better this year.
We've seen record performances. We acquired Villaronai this last financial year, ended June 2021, and that acquisition made a big difference to the bottom line in terms of our gains on investment property, and as well as just a general appreciation in the value of our property, because we keep adding in terms of construction and so on. And then, of course, whereas in the year of the construction, it's new construction. But by the following year, you start to see the benefits in terms of gains on investment property. And so that has been a big thing. And of course, in all our areas, of almost all, I think there might only have been one area in which we didn't grow, which was the hotel hospitality business, for obvious reasons. In almost every other area, we had growth. I mean, not all spectacular growth, but growth everywhere, and some spectacular growth. So we are very grateful because we hit record levels, and it's always good to know that you're doing as best as you have ever done, and by a significant amount. We had a 74% gain on profit and a 50% gain on revenues, pushed us in the 1.7 billion, 1.4 billion kind of region. And so its assets grew tremendously as well. And, so it really was a very good year.
Well, 2022 should be a better year for Pulse, particularly given that events are now open again. Tourism is returning, is beginning to return. Have you started planning the next Caribbean Fashion Week yet, Romae?
Kalina, that's the $1 million question. Well, we're always going to the drawing board as far as Caribbean Fashion Week is concerned. Even thinking about reimagining fashion and how we present it, perhaps with a more model search focus. Our thinking caps are on and our brains are churning, and we will, whatever it is, we will have something special. I mean, Caribbean Fashion Week is a big event for us. It requires a lot of planning, advanced planning as well, because when we're done with one fashion week in a given year, we're already starting to plan for the next year. So it does require that sort of runway to prepare And we're doing all kinds of things in the background, turning out, and we're going to figure out what is the best option in terms of what to bring to the fashion scene when we come back on the scene.
Because I imagine that your models are back on the runways in a much larger capacity than they were last year, Romae.
They are indeed. I mean, we've had great success. The girls have been doing exceptionally well. Obviously, you'd have heard through all the press notices and everything that we launched Shantae Leslie, who was waiting in the wings with Prada, and that was very significant. Alicia Burke, who is our top earner, not only for Pulse, but in the Caribbean, is doing exceptionally well as well. I mean, she just flew back from Amsterdam via Milan, where she shot some campaigns there. And so the work is turning out, it's going, and more models are getting back into the market. We have a couple of girls who had taken some time off as well to complete their university degrees, and they're heading back into the market. Plus the new faces that we have on tap, girls who came out of our last TV series, who are waiting to complete high school to get back in. And this is a great segue, Kalila, for me to mention that we've launched our Pulse School Search, which has been one of our biggest area where we scout and develop talent to put onto the international scene. So that's going to be our next big sort of event-based thing coming out of Pulse as far as fashion and models and so on, to continue that tradition of excellence that our chairman had such audacious ideas to start 42 years ago, to give these young women and men such wonderful opportunity to be on the world's runway. So our shoulders are back to the wheel, and we're working as usual, because it's just part of our instinctive culture at Pulse to give people opportunities and to transform their lives.
Very lovely. Safia, how is it going over on the business side on Trafalgar Road? You have Pulse Center, you have Pulse Rooms. Give us the update on your side.
Well, Kalila, we're back outside.
Yes.
The easing of the restrictions, the Pulse Center, actually, even despite COVID-19, has actually maintained close to 100% occupancy with our tenants. We're very, very happy about this. Pulse Center remains to have a great mix of entrepreneurs, seafood restaurant on property, hairstylists, seamstresses, lawyers, you name it. We have a really good mix of tenants here at the Pulse Center, and we've continued to grow. Speaking to easing of restrictions too, Pulse Rooms, we are getting there. We've maintained throughout COVID, even until most recently, anywhere between 30 to 40% occupancy at Pulse Rooms. And with the easing of restrictions, we'll benefit also from special events taking place. So more events, more traffic, more travelers, it's bound for even a greater couple of months to come, with summer, Christmas, big seasonal periods where the Pulse Rooms will also benefit from that.
Carnival and events like that as well.
Yeah, carnival's around the corner. So, that's always a big bumper period for us too. So you're looking for some really good seasonal activities along with natural seasonalities with summer, Christmas, even Thanksgiving. Jamaicans and people of the diaspora coming in, traveling to Jamaica, wanting somewhere with the best value, the best offering in terms of the accommodation, location, pricing, and they'll be here with us at Pulse Rooms.
I'm sure the event promoters are going to be beating down your door very soon if they haven't started already.
Exactly.
So the Pulse team has a lot going on, and the brand has evolved so much in the past 42 years. Each new project brings more opportunity for evolution. However, the team says that the one thing that will never change is Pulse's commitment to providing the best service.
At Pulse, we are highly optimistic about the future and all the possibilities it promises. We're constantly driven to create, and we're powered by purpose, passion, and performance. We understand that our results of past and present are the basis on which investment decisions are made, and Pulse will continue to grow its lines of business in a post-pandemic world, building on our successes while recrafting projects interrupted by COVID and expanding through new opportunities with the natural, complementary, and synergistic elements that work best for Pulse.
Pulse Entertainment, Model Management, Pulse Global, High School and International Model Searches, Villaronai Lifestyle Village, Property Development, Pulse Property Rentals, Pulse Leisure and Hospitality, Pulse TV, the Pulse Center, Pulse Tech, Pulse Branding and Merchandising, and Pulse Homes will all be a part of the company's dynamic future. We encourage our stakeholders to continue this journey with us. We are Pulse, vision, innovation, and strength.
Well, it was so good catching up with all of you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having us,
Kalila.
Kalila.
Going forward.
And I look forward to visiting the first Pulse homes when they're completed.
All right.
We will be
I
happy
want
to
my
have you.
tour. All right. Bye, everybody. From leaping onto the global stage to its foray into the virtual realm, Pulse remains committed to its development of fashion, real estate, and entertainment in Jamaica and the Caribbean. With forward-thinking leaders at its helm, the future looks exciting for Pulse and its investors. To learn more about Pulse Investments Limited and how you can become an investor, visit pulseworld360.com. You can also visit the Pulse World 360 YouTube page to watch all 8 episodes. Vision, innovation, strength, Pulse.
Let's get this money.